Hey everybody, it is Mark Coe for Thursday. No, I'm sorry, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, got ahead of me. Wednesday, October 4th. Third day of the week. I jumped a little ahead there. Wanted to take a look at today. It's kind of interesting. I've been talking to some newer traders lately, and a theme that keeps coming up, and this theme is very present when you talk to short-term retail traders, is that they're very quick-minded in everything they do, meaning they will put on a trade quickly, they'll have a really tight stop, they'll have a even quicker take profit, and they don't really, in my opinion, give themselves a huge chance to be successful. One of the things I like to point out with this idea of levels, I'm a big believer in using levels to your benefit. But one of the ideas with the levels is that I always like to focus on bigger term. And then when you take it down to a tighter look, is it playing into that? Well, so today I have a chart of euro dollar up here, right? So I have euro dollar, and kind of the edge that's played out through the week has been 17.20. It held earlier into the week and then gave way briefly on Tuesday, October 3rd, only to come back a bit above it. And so the idea is if you're looking at some top edge around 1820 to 1830 and some bottom edge around 1720, well, that gives you two spots to look. But for the retail mind, the one that says, well, I have to deal every day and every hour and every couple minutes, they may not have an opportunity to deal at one of those two levels. And so what they're going to do is now take a level that may not have as much meaning and may just be, something they would only be able to view on a very tight time frame. So what I still like to look at is the idea that even if you're taking longer term analysis and not using it to your benefit, meaning if you're ignoring it, not looking at it, I think it's a mistake. I think it's one that every one of us should do. You should have the ability to look longer term to understand, am I dealing at a bigger level? Am I dealing at no level? But even if you're going to take the short term approach, I'd like to point something out. If you will keep yourself to dealing at edges, it may not make money every trade. In fact, it shouldn't make money every trade. Nothing does. But what it does is it keeps you out of trouble more than anything. So think about euro dollar today. Okay, so here's euro dollar on a 15-minute chart. A lot of traders will start their day at between Europe and U.S., right? We get a lot of Europeans that'll start their day 3 o'clock Eastern New York time, and then a lot of the U.S. traders will deal in somewhere between 6 and 8. So if you look at this as your starting point and you start to say, okay, well, all I want to deal on is edges. All I want to look to deal on is edges. Well, what would you have at 3 or 4 in the morning? This would be your top edge, right? That would be your top edge, and it's coming from here. What would be some bottom edge? You'd have a couple places to look. You would have daily bottom edge, which would be here, 1738 to 42, and then you would have several 2-3 day bottom edge here. But this is what you would look at. This is what your screen would look like at 2 or 3 in the morning. So if you were to say, okay, I'm only going to deal up between 1777 and 1780 or between 1738 and 1743, those are the only two spots I'm going to deal. Two things are going to happen. One, you won't be able to overdeal, so you're not going to be your broker's best friend. So that's first and foremost. Two, if you deal short side into your zone, you have the tightest stop possible. If you deal long side into your zone, you have the tightest stop possible. But those are the only two spots you're going to look to deal. So as the day progresses, all you can start to form is say, oh, I get a trade right into my edge. And that edge was created, it was an overnight edge. It was created at 9-10 o'clock last night U.S. time. There's the trade into it, right? Comes off. What does the next bit do? It gets through. So what if you're really tight, and what do you view yourself as at that spot? You say, well, I'm wrong. It got through. I'm done. It closed above it. I'm wrong. What does that cost you? 8-10 ticks, maybe? Maybe that costs you 8 to 10 ticks? Perfect. Now what does the market tell you? The market reverses that level hard. So the way I would term this is a rejection, right? It got through, but it rejected higher prices above 1780. In that case, I come back and use the same level again. And again, it works for a rotation lower. So here's the point. There are lots of potential deals up in here, meaning a trader could sell it, they could work to 1 tick above it, stop themselves out, they could work to a stop close above it. There's lots of ways to focus on it. Later on in the day, a new bottom edge develops. And so if you think about if you start your day like this, framing your day with top edge and bottom edge, as the day progresses, you're able to fill in a little higher bottom edge. If you keep your deal zones to those two spots, it's really tough to get hurt, right? You could lose money in this trade, but the idea should be still coming back sell side. If you're that fast and you're focused, the idea should be coming back sell side once the market rejects those higher prices, which just gives you one simple rotation back here. That's 28 points back down to this edge. It fails to get the Asian edge, but it gets the European edge. So think about that in your trading. Ask yourself these questions. Do I know everything I can about the level, or do I only know something that's occurred over the last couple hours? And then if you wonder why you're getting stopped out on 3, 4, 5 tick types of ideas, it's maybe because they're not quite as meaningful, and you have to allow for some market movement just in and around levels. But you're going to be a lot stronger if you will identify the levels you will act and be disciplined to those levels. All right, so for Wednesday, October 4th, it's Mark Coe. I hope you guys join me tomorrow, Thursday. I'm doing a session on stock market at all-time highs, the bull market that we're enduring here, coming into 2017, almost into 2018. So we're doing a special session on the stock market. So I hope you guys join me tomorrow, Thursday, for that session. For everybody else, cheers. I hope you have a great day.